TV personalities Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski appeared on an episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert after President Trump attacked them on Twitter. It was a perfect opportunity for Morning Joe to promote his music, which Colbert can't even pretend to take seriously.
Now on the stage that hosted Elvis Presley and the Beatles, performing their new single, Monkey House. Ladies and gentlemen, Scarborough.
Welcome to the monkey. Welcome to the monkey. Welcome to the monkey house.
This is what I imagine is playing over the loudspeakers in hell, or at the very least during enhanced interrogations.
Welcome to the monkey.
Anyway, Colbert asked Mika Brzezinski why the president would ever attack her.
Why do you think he did this? What do you think is in his head?
I think that I was mocking his fake Time magazine cover from that was hanging in one of his country clubs. We had sort of
five of
on the air joking about it.
I think there's a little more to it.
Oh, did you see his Time magazine?
Yes, it was so hot.
By the
There's
way, did
many
you guys
of them.
see mine?
They're in his country clubs. Nothing makes a man feel better than making a fake cover of a magazine about himself, lying every day and destroying the country. Well, he's covering his hands here because they're teensy.
So Mika called the president a liar who is destroying the country. You can see how something like that would get under the president's skin. Look, no one said that Donald Trump was classy, but then again, neither are Joe and Mika, who for more than a year have criticized and even personally attacked and insulted Trump. Take a look.
He was laughed at in the beginning. I mean, when he came down that escalator, I remember saying, this could happen. What? I mean,
well, you started it, right?
If
yesterday?
he had a good reason,
yeah.
I want to hear it. I'm all for it. I'm all for those meaningful conversations leading to something and hearing something really good from Donald Trump about what exactly he's going to do to lead the party forward or help make America great again. Tell me what it was, Paul Ryan, because you just sold out.
And by the way, I said it here on the TV box. And you can check it out on the TV box. I said, all the way back in December, I would never endorse Donald Trump so long as he supported banning 1.4 million people from entering the last best hope for a dying world, the United States of America, simply because of the God they worship, simply because they were Muslim. That has been out on the table while every Republican has endorsed this man. And I said, and I have stuck to it, I will never endorse Donald Trump so long as he supports a Muslim ban. And what should the Republicans do? The Republicans should do what I told you to do last week. This is getting worse by the day. There has to be separation between the Republican leadership, the Republican rank and file, and Donald Trump. You need to go back to your districts and you need to explain that if your supporters want to defeat Hillary Clinton and want to keep a Republican Senate and a Republican House, something dramatic needs to happen quickly. Mika, this is getting out of control.
He is literally still vomiting out anything he thinks at the tip of his head that he might have seen on TV and I don't know what channel recently. And it's pathetic, number one. It's sad for the party. It's sad for the country. And it's sad for his candidacy, which could have done so much.
Well, when Donald Trump drives a runaway beer truck with his hair on fire, shooting guns wildly with both hands out both windows, shouting profanities and insulting everybody in sight, he's tied in Pennsylvania and Ohio. I mean, when he is the worst politician of all time, he's tied in Ohio and Pennsylvania.
They signed a pledge saying they will abide, saying they will back the candidate of the party. And now they sit back and the pledge is out there and the press doesn't even go after them on that. They broke their word. In my opinion, they should never be allowed to run for public office again because what they did is disgraceful.
The stupidity is breathtaking. The stupidity is breathtaking. Donald Trump is just not doing what is required to win. And what's Trump doing, Gene Robinson? Trump says he's going to win by giving speeches and going on Twitter. You can't.
Yeah.
You literally can't win that way. It would be like an Olympic athlete saying, "I am going to play Xbox and to train for the Olympics." They're not going to win.
It is his complete lack of care for the people of this country. He does not have dedication to this country. He's not driven by dedication to this country.
Yeah, that's a guy who knows he's going to lose. Yeah. That's a guy who knows. You start talking that way, and I don't know that he's ever wanted to win, but it's sad. It's sad and pathetic what's going on out there.
Since everybody focused on Hillary Clinton's speech, let me just say he belts it out honestly, like he's had a lot to drink. He does.
Who? Donald?
Welcome to Morning Joe.
What do you mean?
He doesn't drink.
But he doesn't drink.
I know, but that's
we should go there.
His delivery is very.
He shrieks more than she does. And I've never heard anyone say anything.
Yeah, everyone talks about her, and she, why? I'm a Democrat. Not pleased about this. Not trying to be. I really don't want to add any type of emotional or political fury into this. This is not the way we want to win. But Hillary Clinton needs to win this election. How can you endorse this candidate? How can you look in the mirror or look at your constituents, no matter what you need to pander to? How can you endorse this candidate? Donald Trump, you have no idea what your words mean. You have no idea. You have no idea what your words mean. And I can't pretend and sort of try and cover this fairly and put it in the veil of objectivity. This is wrong. You have no idea what your words mean and what you're doing to this country. I'm not saying you should talk to someone in the mental health community for a diagnosis on the air. That is never what I meant when we had this conversation.
Right.
But at this point, I have been asked so many times that I think it's worth asking someone in the mental health community if this is someone you'd want to look, are these signs of something that perhaps could lead to a diagnosis?
You know what? I think
We've
there's
seen
a
enough
way.
of him.
I think
It's
there's
repetitive.
a way for
It's
us.
consistent.
I think there's a way for us to bring on mental health professionals, describe certain traits in people, and then have them talk about,
I think we're there.
I think it's easier for us and safer for us to infer from his actions and words something about his character.
Right.
It's easier for us to stay on that ground than to try to attribute something to his mental health.
Okay, but is there anyone here at this table who has not been asked about it?
We've all been asked.
Everybody at this
even by our
table,
children.
anybody?
And still ahead on Morning Joe.
Sorry.
It's so confusing for young minds such as ours.
I'll tell you what.
What?
I think that there's not much to talk about because I think that it's impossible to talk and have a conversation about nothing. I mean, it really is. And he brings nothing to the table. He says one thing, he says another. There's nothing there in this candidate.
I said 2 months before the first Republican vote was cast, I could never vote for Donald Trump because of a Muslim ban. And then I said he was disqualifying because what he said about David Duke.
That should have stopped you right there, everybody.
Jim Rutenberg today writes a fascinating article where the New York Times editor and others basically come to terms with the fact that they stopped being journalists over the past month and began being cheerleaders.
Hillary Clinton needs to win this election.
And began being people who had a conclusion that they reached and then searched for facts to show that Hillary Clinton was a 92% chance winner of winning this campaign.
I would put it at 92% that Hillary Clinton wins.
I see people in there right now trying very hard to get through the day and figure out how they're going to make thousands of appointments and maybe not making the right choices. We'll see.
You put out allegations that end up being false. Right. And you end up helping Trump,
Or you do what we just did, which was carefully dance around the topic for 19 minutes. I mean, seriously, we said nothing while we talked about something that might be true, but we don't know. And it's potentially incredibly explosive, but I don't know. I mean, at what point do you just wait until you know?
He's exhausting the American public before the day he's sworn into power. He's president of the United States.
Right.
So this is this sort of tunnel vision that he has, and maybe even some
He's got Limbaugh.
parts missing.
He's
and I'm being really
38%.
serious. There's no humility. He has no curiosity. He doesn't even want to know about the issues. He doesn't attempt to even grasp them, and ultimately no humor. You also could see, unless, please correct me if I'm wrong, but he could never really go deep on a thought. He never actually takes it a step further on issues and policies. Everything is just a huge problem.
But Mika,
big, and he can't actually take it to the next level. He can't get his head around anything.
The thing is,
I don't think he has the ability.
we've heard our entire lives about sore losers.
Yeah.
This guy is the first sore winner we've ever seen. It's not worth it. Donald Trump is not worth it. He will use you and he will spit you up. He will throw you out. The truth doesn't matter to Donald Trump. And reality doesn't seem to matter to this White House. They change their stories every day. And I started getting calls from people in the White House who I had known, who were very concerned about that press conference that Sean Spicer was about to give about crowd size.
Crowd size, yeah.
And they said, well, we just want to know, your opinion. What do you? I said, I think it would be a disaster. I think it would be the stupidest thing. You've got, you better stop it. You're going to, it's a horrible way to start it. And then they called back after Spicer's press conference, and I said, you all look like fools. You've just made a fool of it. And then I get a phone call from the White House and says, the president would like to talk to you. So I go in the room and I talk to him. And after about 3 minutes, we have a call. I'm trying to explain why this was the worst thing that he could have done on his first day in office. And he didn't get it. It was a different guy. You could just tell. He was completely mesmerized by the office he was in and the surroundings. And I called Mika and I said, yeah, he's gone.
Welcome to my nightmare. Welcome to my nightmare. Welcome to my nightmare.
As always, thanks for watching. In the meantime, I'm gonna need expensive cancer treatment from all the Morning Joe clips I had to watch to make this video, so please like and subscribe. It's the least you can do.